What's up guys? So today I wanted to teach you guys about my process of being my own photographer. Some of you may or may not be aware of the fact that over the years, most of the photos that I've posted on my Instagram account have actually been taken by me. I am very uncomfortable around cameras and photographers, which is ironic considering what I do for a job. Over the years, I've gone on trips with friends and hoped that they would get photos like I had in mind, or I've hired professional photographers to do that for Instagram campaigns that I've had and ended up with photos that just really showed how uncomfortable I was on camera, but then it would also chew into the budget of what I was making from these campaigns. So I got to the point where I was like, I need to figure out how to be my own photographer. Today I'm going to teach you guys how to be your own photographer and what equipment I use to do so. Today's video has been sponsored by Kingston, the world's #1 memory brand, and I'll be telling you how you can easily upgrade your memory to improve your creative workflow later in this video. Now this is the piece of equipment that changed my whole trajectory in being able to not have to pay photographers, not have to ask friends anymore to take my photos. This is the Harnell Capture Remote, and it also comes with this receiver which sits on top of your camera, and it will take photos with this trigger, with this button right here. You can trigger your camera from up to 100 meters away, and it will not only trigger your camera, but it will trigger the autofocus system as well. So let's say you want to take photos of yourself walking where you're constantly moving and your focus needs to shift, otherwise you're going to be out of focus. If you keep pressing this button, it'll keep changing the focus as you go. And I've figured out little tricks over the years where if you have a hand in a jacket pocket or in one pocket, or if you have your hand slightly behind your back when you're walking, people won't even notice that you have this remote. But let's say you don't want to risk having the remote in the image at all. What I end up doing is I use the interval timer on this remote. So you can set it up so it takes a photo every 1 second, every 2 seconds, 3 seconds, 20 seconds, whatever you want, and just have it continuously taking photos. And for somebody like me who never really knows what to do when it comes to posing, it helps me fluke a lot of good photos, because I'll just do a bunch of different things and then eventually I'll get a half decent photo. So what I'll do is I'll first get my camera, I'll put it on a tripod, and I'll set up my photo to the point where I feel like I've got a good photo without me even being in the frame. Once I've done that, I'll figure out where a person would look good in this image. I'm at Point Addis Beach and I wanted a photo of me sitting on the edge of this sand dune. I set up the photo, took the photo, and then I went and sat down on the dune, and I quite like the way that this image looks. It tells the story of where I was and what I was seeing. And then one of my favorite photos I actually took while I was at Point Addis was this one here, where I set up the camera and I did exactly what I told you guys about. I was just walking, taking photos with this remote as I was going. It was keeping me in focus, and it really told a story. It's also how I take most of my family photos as well, and I love the photos that you get this way. Growing up, all my photos were just us looking really uncomfortable, someone telling us to say cheese, to smile. And when I look back at those photos, the memory that comes back is that uncomfortable moment of being told to look my best, to stand and smile, and I'm not really thinking about all the other stuff that happened during that day. Whereas when I'm doing a fun activity with the kids and I set up a tripod and just have these photos capturing the moment, when I look back at these photos, I remember the fun that we were having in that moment. It's capturing genuine moments, not just posed images. And this is something that you can do with your travel photos. Just let it take photos and see what happens.
And something else you're gonna need is a laptop to edit your photos on the go with, and also back them up with quality storage. I've upgraded this Lenovo ThinkBook to run faster.
Thanks to Kingston, who is today's sponsor. Kingston is the world's #1 memory brand, and they make incredibly fast SSD hard drives. One of the easiest ways to upgrade a computer and make it faster is to invest in a quality SSD drive. I've never actually installed one myself before, and I was really surprised at how easy it was to do. I simply unscrewed my laptop, took the back off, disconnected the battery, and slotted in my Kingston Gen 4 SSD into the hard drive slot, which besides giving me more memory space, will also come in handy as it allows my computer to boot up faster. Apps will load faster, and the thing that really relates to me as a photographer, as a videographer, it allows me to transfer my files to my computer so much faster. The read and write speed is really quick, and I'm not wasting too much time when I'm transferring files and backing them up, and I know that they're safe on a computer and on my camera card, so I've got them in two places just in case anything happens. The ultra-fast Gen 4 SSDs come in a whole range of different storage sizes, from 250 gig all the way to 2 terabytes. And I feel like this is an upgrade that most people in the creative field could really benefit from. If you want to know more about Kingston and their hard drive solutions, check out the link in the description box. So this is the camera that I use, the Canon EOS R. It's quite a few years old now, but I've never felt the need to upgrade because it's such a great camera. It has pretty much everything that I need for both photo and video. Eventually, I would like to upgrade to an R5, but I just haven't felt the need to make that investment when this is still serving me so well. It's taking photos like this, and I'm very happy with it. And the lens that I've got on it most of the time when I'm traveling is the 24-70 2.8 Mark II EF lens. I'm still on the EF system. I just haven't felt like there was a need to make that investment to cross over to the new system as of yet, when these are still working so great. To take good travel photos, you're gonna need a good travel camera bag, and this is the camera bag that I've been using for over 3 years. It's called the Low Pro Fast Pack. It's got a lot of padding. I've thrown it around more than I would like to admit and more than I would recommend doing, and it has done very well. It has a huge compartment in the front for all your camera gear. I store my camera, zoom lens, another lens up here, and you can fit another 2 lenses in here, but I generally have some remotes or maybe a microphone. A really big compartment that you can fit pretty much anything you want in. I often put jumpers in here. Sometimes I put my drone and the drone remote, and then you've got this compartment up here where I put all my spare batteries, my SD cards and things like that. And then on the side, it has this handy and very subtle compartment where you can store a laptop as well. And that always comes in handy when you're taking travel photos, because if you want to reference the photos on something bigger than your camera screen, you can quickly pop your SD card in and check them out, and also back them up straight away, which is really important because you don't want to lose those valuable photos. Now on to the next thing that I take with me every time I travel, and that is my Canon 16-35 Mark II 2.8 lens. This is an ultra wide angle lens. This is great for landscape photography. When I was at the Lockhart Gorge, I wanted to really show the magnificence of this whole place, and using this wide angle lens, I was able to get everything into one frame. Also, there was quite a few people on the beach, but because I was able to get a bit closer to the beach with this wide angle lens, I was able to capture everything without getting the people in it as well. Something that you really need if you're gonna be taking your own photos is a good quality tripod. I use the Manfrotto 190 Go. I've had this one for a really long time, and I swear by it. It's the easiest tripod I've ever had to use. It's got really nice and smooth legs, so it's very quick and easy to set up. It's also made from carbon fiber as well, so it makes it nice and light. When you're carrying around a heavy camera bag, the last thing you want to do is be carrying around a heavy tripod as well. So I swear by this one. I think it's one of the best travel tripods on the market. It is quite pricey, but in my opinion, it is worth every penny if you're getting a lot of use out of it. If you like this video, make sure you hit the thumbs up, make sure you're subscribed, and if you'd like me to do some more tutorials, because this isn't something that I normally do, let me know in the comments what you would like me to do a tutorial on next. Have a great day, guys.